Chances are your lead generation process is broken. So many businesses have trouble finding lists of qualified leads within their ideal customer profile and with verified emails to accompany them. On top of that, it's incredibly difficult for businesses to find data on the company within their lead lists. So today what I'm going to show you is a way to find B2B leads as well as any data point you could possibly dream of associated with them. Hint, it is a lot easier than you probably think. Software we're going to use to find our leads is called Clay. Clay is kind of like an interactive spreadsheet, but you can integrate different technologies within it to find data on prospects. So the first thing you're going to do is click Find People from LinkedIn. And for this particular case, we are looking for a founder, a co-founder, a CEO, CMO, or CTO. So just some main decision makers within a company. I decided we're going to use the term fintech in their experience description. And we're going to look just within the United States for these people. And we're going to limit our results to 100 prospects. So after you've inputted all the information required, all you have to do is click Preview People. And you'll see that we have 100 people loaded up into our table here. After you've imported all the people, you can see that we have a couple data points available here, such as the company that they work for, their name, their job title, their location, their company domain, and their LinkedIn profile. One of the first things you're going to want to do to find information on these prospects is doing something called enrich the company. Pretty much what this means is that when you input their LinkedIn profile, Clay will return a ton of different information that is pulled from their LinkedIn profile into the table. You can see when we click on them that we have a ton of different pieces of information about them. One of the most important ones is their experience. You're able to see the company that they work for as well as the company LinkedIn. You're also able to see when they've started their current role and how many connections that they have. So one of the next things you can do, which is a natural extension of enriching the person, is enriching the company. So once you've imported the company here, what you can do is go to enrich company within the enrichment panel and do the same thing that you did with the first person. And just as we were able to do for the people, we're now able to see a ton of different pieces of information on what the company does. You can see here we have their entire company description, we have where they're located, we have how many employees that they have, and we even have their follower count. Next, what we can do is we can find recent LinkedIn posts that this person recently posted. And we can use them for reference in AI personalization, or we can just read them for more information on our prospect. I could spend literally all day showing you all of the different data points that Clay can provide for you, but because I want to keep it short, I'm going to show you a list of some of the data points you can find, and then I'm going to show you one of the cooler ones that I use a lot in my email prospecting. So here's a list of all the data points that Clay can find, and this is not all inclusive. There are actually more, and I'm going to show you how to find data points that might not even be available in Clay yet. So you can see here for people-based data, we can find things like their work email, their phone number, their current company, their GitHub, their LinkedIn profile, their Twitter, their profile picture. You can clean up the data so you can use it in email personalization or just to keep it organized. And here is a list of all the data providers that are currently integratable within Clay. For example, if we wanted to find their tech stack, we have a waterfall here that uses 2 different data providers, and all we need is their company domain. And if we run the first 10 rows, we now have a list of every single one of the technologies for these companies. And we can do this with every single company in the list. When you click on the list, we now have a comma separated list of every technology that the company uses. You can search for specific technologies, or you can just export the entire list. Now, what if there's a data point that you need about a company, but you can't find it in Clay's enrichment data panel? What you can do is you can click Add Enrichment and then go to something called Claygent. So Claygent is a web scraper that allows you to programmatically scrape pieces of data from the web about any prospect or company. You're going to use AI to find this data. So for example, you can use a prompt such as find the name's social media accounts other than LinkedIn. And the link to their LinkedIn is, and then we give them the block with their LinkedIn profile in it. You can see right here, there are some examples of the LinkedIn profiles for each one of the rows. Then I could told it to print it out like this. And so it'll print it out in the format that I want. So now you can see that we have found the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for the specific prospect. And it even tells you the confidence interval, which is how confident that the AI is that this is the correct answer. And finally, of course, when you're reaching out to prospects, you need to find their email. All you have to do is click Add Column, Add Enrichment, click on Work Email, and then use a work email waterfall. And what this does is it uses several different data providers to find an email. So it starts here, and if it can't find an email here, it goes to here, etc., etc. All you have to do is put in their full name. We have their company domain in there already. And then we have a validation provider to make sure that the email that we're finding and sending to is valid, so it doesn't bounce and compromise the integrity of your domains and sending accounts. And you can see here that to an incredibly high accuracy, we were able to find a majority of the emails for our prospects here, and they were all completely validated and ready to send to. You can play around with this in Clay. It's really fun to see what sort of data you can find about a company, and you can use it for pretty much any use case. I hope this video gave you some value as to how to build accurate and actionable lead lists. If you want to try Clay out, we will have a link in the description. Feel free to reach out to me as well if you need any help, and happy prospecting.